everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about The Butterfly Garden, and this is put out by Dr. Finn's Games.
All right, before I show you what the game is about, can I ask what you got going on there?
It's a blanket.
Why are you wearing a blanket?
Because it's cold in our
It's
house.
not that bad.
It is. Everybody. I want you to leave a comment about if your house, if you live in an area where it gets colder, where do you keep the thermostat at your house during those times? I'm just curious. Because we require blankets in our game room because of how cold we keep our house when it gets cold out. And everybody should have a gamer blanket for their game room. And guess what? Atheros Entertainment got you covered with this really awesome gamer blanket. It's so fuzzy.
It is fuzzy.
It's fuzzy.
It's the kind of blanket I can cuddle up to you because I don't need the blanket, but you do.
Yeah, I do.
But I want the fuzziness though.
Yeah.
Without the warmth.
So it's nice. You know what else you can do with a blanket?
What can you do with a blanket?
Picnic.
You just said it was cold.
Well, like when it's nicer out.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you could have a picnic now if you wanted to. You'd just be cold.
All right, so while you're having a picnic, you can catch butterflies, which is what this game is all about. This is the Butterfly Garden. It's kind of like a set collection game, right? Where you are trying to, acquire all these different butterflies. There's several different, species of butterflies. There's these different, these delivery cards that have all these different butterflies that you need to fulfill. The harder the card, the more points it's worth. Let me show you what it looks like on the table. All right, here's our setup for the Butterfly Garden. Across the top, we have all of our different scoring cards that we're trying to obtain. We obtain them by matching up the butterflies listed on the card. So, for instance, this one here, we have a yellow, a purple, and kind of that monarch orange and brown, or orange and black one. Over here, we've got a yellow one, for instance, but also there's a black one, which can be fulfilled by any of the butterflies. Over here, we have one, there's just a whole bunch, there's 5 different butterflies on that one. That's going to be hard to get, but it's also why it's worth the most points out of those bunch showing. The next row down here, these are all different butterfly cards that we can be obtaining. But here is our hand. We start with a hand of 3 cards, and we're always going to have a hand of 3 cards. So basically, everyone's going to choose a card from their hand, and they are going to reveal all at the same time. 1, 2, 3, flip. Whoever has the lowest number gets to go first. And you're going to net some butterflies. So we're going to take our little net there. Let's say we want this card. Some cards have special abilities in the top right. This would be the chance where you get to play those right now. They do things like kind of rearrange different butterflies in different spots. They can even let you move people's nets around so that way you can possibly get a better butterfly that you're looking for. The next step is the card that you have here. You're going to tuck it underneath the jar here. That way it shows what butterflies you own in your own personal jar. This is the point where you'd be able to fill any of the butterfly cards at the top there with the butterflies into your jar. Obviously, we only have one butterfly showing right now, just that one little yellow one. So we're going to keep on going. At the end of the round, wherever our net is, we get that card back. That goes into our hand, so now we have a 3-card hand again, and this replenishes. There are rainbow ones like this one here. This can be basically take the place of any color of the butterflies when you're fulfilling on these point cards up here. You're going to keep on doing that as the game goes on. You're going to choose a card. Whoever has the lowest goes first. And you're going to kind of go in that order. You're going to select some cards. You're going to play the special actions if there are any. Put them into your jar there. You can only hold 8 in your jar at a time. If you ever have more than that, you need to let some go. And then after that, you get a chance to fulfill those scoring cards. The game ends when either one of these 2 decks here runs out and you cannot replenish the row properly. At that point, you're going to add up all the points from your circles over here. Also, you're going to get bonus points based off of how many different colors you have. So, for instance, showing there, we have purple, blue, and green. If you were to have that scenario, you'd get some extra points for that. You're going to get some extra points for having butterflies that are unspent in your jar. And if you have the most butterflies still in your hand, you're going to get some points for that as well. You add up all those points, and whoever has the most points wins the game.
So this game was fun because we could play competitively, but with our daughter. But she didn't have to play competitively with us because she just liked the butterflies. She just liked the cards, and she liked collecting and catching and putting things where she wanted to. And she wasn't trying to get the most butterflies or get the biggest cards. So all 3 of us could play while I was trying to beat Ryan, and he was trying to beat me, and we just had a random third player who was just messing us up all the time. So it was kind of fun that the artwork made it where it was fun for her, but we could still be competitive.
I liked kind of that idea of like the initiative in this game, right? So you have these this variety of cards, different values, and the lower the card, it's usually weaker. It's usually maybe one or two butterflies, and it's usually the more common ones that aren't worth as many points potentially. But when you play those, you get to go first in the turn order. But the higher ones, they're going to have much cooler butterflies, maybe some wilds, maybe it comes with like 3 different butterflies all in the same card or whatever. And those are just really versatile. However, you're going to basically concede to going last in turn order if you play one of those. And I really like that kind of that balancing this game, right? If you're able to go first, your chances are going to get your choice of whatever card you want that's out there as far as replenishing your hand, and you might be able to fulfill a card that somebody else is planning on fulfilling later on in the round. But if you go later, you're going to have a ton of butterflies that you can use to fulfill one of those more higher point cards.
If it's still out there.
If it's still out there. But you're also kind of setting yourself up for maybe a bad draft when you're replenishing your hand. So I like that idea.
And I liked the special abilities that were on some of the cards. I know that when I was playing, I had trouble because sometimes I didn't want to use the special ability yet, but I really wanted that number. And so I had to make that decision of whether I was willing to do that yet or not. And so I liked that the special abilities just gave you more things to think about before you played your card.
The starting hands can be a little bit unbalanced, right? So you deal out 3 cards to every player, and you might get like just the best 3 cards in the game, and someone else gets 3 terrible cards, and that's just the way it is. And I like that. That's an option. But however, there's also a variant where you can. There's these starting cards. The first player has these 3 cards, and the second player has these 3 cards, or whatever it is, and they're all basically balanced. So that way, everyone has often the same equal starting playing field. I like that because when you're playing with, like you kind of mentioned, with our daughter or something like that in a family setting, it just makes it a little bit more fair. And that's what I like about this game, ultimately, is what it comes down to. Is it's a great family game. It's set collection. It's kind of got almost like an order fulfillment vibe to it, but instead of like, a lot of order fulfillment games are like different foods and stuff like that, or like wood, iron, wool, that kind of thing. It's butterflies. It's cute, and it's fun. It's a great family game. We really liked the Butterfly Garden.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of everything that Ryan was saying, because it's easy to learn and easy to teach, I feel like this would be a great game for those who maybe really like gardening or really like butterflies. I think this would be a way to get those people who necessarily aren't gamers into our wonderful hobby. Well, thank you guys so much for watching it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out. You can also find us on Facebook. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1. You can find us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany.
What are you doing?
I'm cold again.
She's going to go take a nap. It's time for you guys. We're saying bye. Until next time.